little bit Noodling. Bugera 9090, which is a clone of Marshall JCM900. 2 channels, 2 master volumes, 2 reverbs, 2 gain controls. The clean is kind of clean, but it goes into that kind of plexi territory. The lead channel, it's high gain, basic equalizer, presence treble middle bass, like on Marshall. 3 ECZ83 preamp tubes, 4 5881s, which are like kind of like 606s, not the same, but in that family, same ballpark. And what is cool, the INFINIUM technology, so you can pretty much put any tubes you want there, EO34s, 606s, it will self-bias and match them. And there's 4 LEDs behind that tells you, if your tube is failing, if you need to change that, then, it tells you what tube to change, so you don't necessarily have to buy all 4 tubes. And, usually traditional amps, you kind of need to, or you want to buy always 4, and then they will be matched and biased. But this, at least according to manual, it does it. I don't know, I borrowed this amp from Euge's, thank you, great Swiss store, so it's not mine. I haven't experienced how that actually, or is that actually work, but at least Bugera claims that it works, and I guess it does if they say so. So yeah, about the 900s, my favorite Marshalls are 800s and Plexi, but 900s are good. They are kind of like evolution of 800. It's a little bit tighter, maybe a bit more metallic, and to me the main reason why is it so is because JCM900, the dual reverb, uses clipping diode. There's 3 preamp tubes, like on this one, and then with the clipping diode you can get more gain. Many people are a little bit shy of that or something, but never bothered me that much because I use clipping diodes anyway, always. Boss Super Overdrive or any overdrive, it's a clipping circuit. It makes the amp behave a certain way when you add a clipped overdriven tone into it, and the 900 just has that built in. The problem with that, what I usually sometimes had, is that you can't take it off, and it's a certain clipping diode. I mean, SD you can always take off, dial the tones, so depending on the 900, on some 900s that I played, especially with Shining back in the day, because we used Rental backlight, usually we used 800s or 2000s, sometimes 900s. Sometimes they were really good, sometimes not so. So that's kind of a little bit negative side, so you can't really take that off unless you mod the 900. Except the 900 SLX, that's like an 800, but just with 4 preamp tubes, so there's no clipping diode. The gain is actually tube gain, and then you can add SD in front if you want. Does this have a clipping diode? I don't know, because I tried to find some info, but there wasn't, at least. There's no info on the manual. If there is, if there isn't, doesn't really matter to me. If it sounds good, it's good. I like the way this sounds. And what I had on the song, and now I boosted that with overdrive, so it worked. The feel is, it's almost like a 5150 original Blockler what I had there. It's really tight. So I'm guessing, at least based on how I feel when I play, I guess there is a little bit, because there's tons of gain. So the signal chain now is ESP LTD with headset pickups. I customized this a little bit, so this actually switches the pickups, and here's the volume like on the traditional. The tuners are God-locking tuners. I broke a few on some CYHRA tour, so I just had these, as a spare, and I chased them. Other than that, it's stuck. Then into the pedal board, then into KHE amp switcher, into the amps, back to KHE, into SandRock React IR reactive load, where I have my signature IR Valovirtuals from Jens Buchren's leading cleanback. Link in the description if you want to check those out. It's my affiliate link. You'll get a 10% discount with that. So then the signal goes to Steinberg UR816 audio interface and recording these 2 Cubase. Alright, so that's the specs, and yeah, there's a like direct out, recording out, effect loop, the usual, what the 900 has. But let me show you, I take the SD off, and I have dialed the crunch channel of 2000 and the 800, well it's cranked like, you know, 800. And I play without SD, so I don't know if you can hear, but I kind of feel that it's tighter. It could be the diode clipping, or then it's just the character of the amp, you know. So I play these back and forth. Some simple JCM riff. Don't know if you hear, the gain is approximately the same, but this has that bite. So my guess is there is a clipping diode. It works well. And now let me show you when I engage super overdrive. So all amps, same thing, but the SDO. Let's start with this one. So these two were a little bit fatter, and the playing feel was different. This has that like a little bit metallic tone, and it was almost like it was different. So I think there's a clipping diode, but it works really well also with SD. So with SD it's basically like two clipping diodes. It's a little bit, but it's, you know, the 900 character, it is more metallic sounding than 800 and the crunch channel of TSL, because these obviously these don't have clipping diodes built in. It's just a tube gain. And 900 JCM900 SLX, that doesn't have clipping diode either. It's my favorite of the 900. It's pretty much like a JCM800, but just with 4 preamp tubes. Like I have this Zach Wildhead here. At the moment I have their Legendary Tones Lynch mod, which adds 4th preamp tube. So now this amp is pretty much like a 900 SLX, because that was requested by us players back in the day. Because when the 900 came, it was a little bit metallic, and many of us, like myself, I like to use SD1 or some overdrive to add that clipping circuit, but I wanted to have the option to take that off, and with the dual reverb 900 that was there unless you mod the amp. So then they made SLX, which is a 1-channel amp. There's no clean channel, it's like an 800, but just 4 preamp tubes, so just more gain. I've always, you know, 800 gain is, you know, it's enough for me, because, you know, I can dial as much gain as I want from the SD. How I said it, it's, you know, in the picture, the level almost full, drive almost down, and tone around 1 o'clock. So it just pushes the amp So that's the thing. Okay, then let's check out the clean channel of this one. Let's add chorus. Yeah, it's okay. Now let's compare it to JCM2000 clean, which is probably my favorite clean of all time, at least on Marshall. So that on. Yes, it's. That's a chorus. Okay, back to INFINIUM. It's good. It's a little bit cloudy. This clean is just, it's hard to beat, but it's a good clean. Okay, then let's check out the reverb, what this has. So, this comes with a Euge, which you can switch channels, and then the reverb on and off per channel. So, I feel it's a little bit. It's okay, but it's not the best reverb. Let's say like that I've tried. But to me, it doesn't really matter. I don't really use ever reverb like this. I rely on the room's natural room reverb. So, but yeah, it's alright. Let's check out how it behaves on the lead channel. Yeah, well, if I would like to use reverb, I'd probably use an external reverb in the effect loop. It's fine. Okay. Conclusion. I think the amp it captures the essence of Marshall JCM900. It's cheaper, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have a 900 now, so I could compare. But especially for the price, it's really good. And I mean, you heard on the song, the way I play it's really chunky and crunchy and works great, you know, with super overdrive in front. The reverb is so and so, but it's like a great British bite. If you like Marshall tones like me, this could be a really good option. Because I mean Marshalls, they are a bit more expensive. This is like the third of the price or something, and it's actually pretty good. I'm surprised, because I did a video about the 1960, which is a kind of like plexi. That was actually really good too. Not so full sounding than the real plexi, because I have a real plexi. I compared it on that video. Link it there if you want to check that out. That was it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. If you liked, you know the drill. See you on the next one. Bye.